Gridiron Light, sponsored by Memphis Bottlers Pepsi Cola, Central Methodist University, and ScoreStream.
Good evening, everybody. We start with Kirksville against perennial power Hannibal. Hannibal in white. They scored first. Gabe Worthington and Will Whitaker play a little pitch and catch for 6 points. Kirksville's Matt Williams is listed as 5'7", 140, but he plays much bigger than that. However, Hannibal's Billy Smashy plays like he's 5'10", 170. He gets 6. Kirksville hung in there. Braden Smith says, hey, look what I have, as he comes up with the interception, and Kirksville would take advantage. Blake Lewis would take it down to the 6-yard line for the Tigers. Then a couple of plays later, John Bohan makes it a 14-7 ball game. Hannibal would answer back. Wyatt Walder breaks a tackle in stride for 6 points. They would go on to win it 34-7. At halftime, 3 new members of the Kirksville Hall of Fame were introduced. Chris Pickett, who rushed for over 1,600 yards in 1987. There is the complete 1987 team. You know what? They look like they could still play. Well, some of them. And finally, it's Sean Corbett, the great offensive and defensive lineman.
I was lucky that I got a chance to play with a group of guys from about 5th grade, and we pretty much stayed together the whole way through to our senior year. And we had a big senior group my senior year, a lot of good players, and just a brotherhood, and that was special.
The kids really played hard, and they were very aggressive on defense, and I think they understood it. We tried to keep it as simple as possible so they could just run and get to the football.
Ottumwa had its last non-district game of the year. The Bulldogs welcomed in Des Moines Roosevelt. Ottumwa in a big hole in the first half. This play is pretty indicative of how the first half would go. Sam Yeway on the pitch, but he is bottled up for no gain. The drive stalls. Bulldogs down 28-0 at halftime. Then after the band would come in to rock the stadium, Ottumwa back at it. Addison Korn with a quick pass over to Jaquan Bridges. That's a 5-yard gain. Second down now. Corum fakes one handoff and then makes a pitch over to Yeway, and he makes one man miss and then is pushed forward for a 9-yard gain, and that's good enough for the first down. But again, the drive would stall. But the Bulldogs defense holds, forcing a 3-and-out. A play action fake here. Corum sees someone downfield, and it is Caleb Vasquez. He comes up with the catch, and he gets taken down for a 32-yard gain at the 6-yard line. But again, a chop block here. That penalty would push Ottumwa back. Corum back to pass down once again. And this time he goes over the middle, but is picked off by the Rough Rider, Shamari Tompkins. That drive, of course, would stall. But Ottumwa does avoid the shutout with a 6-yard TD run by Sam Yeway in the fourth quarter. Ottumwa falls 28-6.
Let's see if Knox County could get a win against Harrisburg on homecoming. Knox County in black. It's the Eagles O-line with the greatest protection detail since the Secret Service. Nick Edwards finds Hayden Miller for the big gain. Then they move the chains through the air again as Miller goes between 2 defenders for the big catch. How about that? Check out Corey Mowbray. He has size, quickness, power, and 6 points. Advantage Knox County. Harrisburg came back. Cody Carl goes through tacklers like a fat man goes through donuts. Give him a half a dozen points on the play. However, Knox County would win on homecoming, the final 32-18.
A true rivalry. The EBF Rockets and the Davis County Mustangs met up in Eddyville. Last year's game was back and forth, a high-scoring affair in favor of the Rockets. EBF won last year's game by 3 and are looking for its 3rd straight W. EBF started this one out strongly. First play of the game, Trey Moore rolls out to his right, and he finds a wide-open Wyatt Klein along the sideline. He then gets taken down at the 32. A 35-yard gain, and Rockets are in business. Dakota Boyer now in the next play. He gets a handoff, gets cut off, then goes back to his left, and then gets a nice block from his quarterback, and he takes care of the rest. A 32-yard run, and EBF is up 7-0, less than 30 seconds into the game. First Davis County possession now. 3rd down play. J.R. Zettler back to pass, and he is intercepted by Klein. He then gets a nice return with some blocks, but one of those blocks would be a block in the back, and that would push the Rockets back. On that drive, A few possessions later now, EBF with the ball again. Rockets looking to drive. Trey Moore back to pass, but the pass rush is good enough that he is on the run. First he goes left, and then he goes right, makes a few man risks, stays on his feet, and loads one, but he is intercepted as well by Davis County's Grohl Norman. The Rockets, however, would overcome its first half turnovers, and they top Davis County 34-0. Now we go over to Fairfield. The Trojans hosted Keokuk looking for its first win of the year. The Fairfield Trojans home for the first time since the season opener. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. The Trojans would finally get on the board, trailing 13-0. Tristan Waugh takes the handoff and goes right through the teeth of the Keokuk defense, and he scores that touchdown, and that would make it 13-6 after a failed PAT. At the end of the first quarter now, the Trojans punting on this one, and Keokuk not able to handle the high kick. It falls through and is loose, and the Trojans senior Aaron Haynes makes the recovery, and that would give Fairfield the ball, and they are once again on offense. Few plays later, Fairfield would cash in on that turnover. Carson Crowell makes a pass over to Andrew Martin, and he does all the action, goes 22 yards into the end zone, and that would make it 20-13. Keokuk still ahead. With 4 minutes to go in the halftime now, Crowell back to pass once again. He finds Hunter Hoskins, who breaks free and almost gets into the end zone. You see he'll signal for it, but instead he's down at the 1, and that would mean that they just need one more play. So why not hand it to Tristan Waugh? He goes into the end zone for his second TD of the night, and that would tie the game up at 20 at the half. And that's how it would stay until 4 seconds left in the game, where Fairfield will kick a field goal to win 23-20.
In college football, Truman State will play its first game in the new Stokes Stadium after several construction snafus. Everything is ready to go as the Bulldogs will host Missouri S&T at 7. Truman State is ready to get its first win of the year as both sides of the ball played better last week, especially the offense.
We got up under center some and split time from a shotgun and traditional up under center quarterback center exchange and got the back going downhill. But the big thing was just the persistence with our interior and really while we didn't win the football game, our offensive line and fullbacks, tight ends really imposed their will on, wore the defense out in the second half to move the ball pretty freely.
In college football, Truman State will play its first game in the new Stoke Stadium after several construction snafus. Everything is ready to go as the Bulldogs will host Missouri S&T at 7. Truman State is ready to get its first win of the year as both sides of the ball played better last week, especially the offense.
We got up under center some and split time from a shotgun and traditional up under center quarterback center exchange and got the back going downhill. But the big thing was just the persistence with our interior and really, while we didn't win the football game, our offensive line and fullbacks, tight ends, really imposed their will on, wore the defense out in the second half to move the ball pretty freely.